In 1912, a man named William Clark built an empire in this valley. A railroad, a copper mine, an entire town designed to extract everything possible from these mountains and make him rich. It worked. And then it stopped working. And everyone left. Except Jerome. Jerome was supposed to disappear. The copper ran out, the mine closed, the population dropped from 15,000 to 50 people almost overnight. The building started sliding down the mountain, and somehow, Jerome is still here. We went to find out why a town that should be dead absolutely refuses to act like it.
Hi guys.
Have a good trip.
Clarkdale sits at the bottom of the valley exactly where Clark designed it. Orderly, planned, everything under control. 3 miles up the mountain from Clark's perfectly planned town sits everything he couldn't control. Before we headed into Jerome, we stopped here at the Jerome State Historic Park. And honestly, if you ever visit Jerome, start here, because what happened in this valley is almost impossible to believe. One of the first stops you should make when visiting Jerome is the Jerome State Historic Park. At its peak, Jerome reached a population of about 15,000. That was at its height in the 1920s. Jerome was called the wickedest town in America by a New York journalist. The United Verde mine was one of the richest copper mines in the world, and between 1883 and 1953, the mines produced over $3 billion worth of copper, gold, silver, and zinc. Now, William Andrews Clark was one of the wealthiest men in America at the time. Then the Phelps Dodge Corporation eventually took over and ran the largest operation. Jerome had hotels, theaters, hospitals, schools, and a complete city on the mountainside. But the demand for copper declined after World War II. Phelps Dodge closed the mine in 1953, and in that same year, Phelps Dodge parked bulldozers at the end of Main Street. They were done with Jerome, but 6 residents stood in the way and said no. We'll come back to that.
I really like that it's not only, everything is about the mines here, but it's not only about the mines. They explain about life back then. And what I really like is that it shows you the buildings back then, how they look and what they were back then, and what are they now, like what they have been converted to, how they look right now. So it's very interesting because now when you go to town, you can spot those buildings and know what they were back then.
Right, and Lorena was just saying how we originally thought Jerome was kind of just a pass-through place, but you can literally spend a half or even a full day here wandering around.
I would say full day. It's like every town has been like a 2-3 hours so for us, and now after seeing the museum, the town, and all the other things that there are to do around here, definitely you can spend a full day from morning to evening here.
Definitely lots to see, so let's get to checking more out.
Yeah.
After stuffing our tiny brains with as much information about Jerome as possible at the Jerome State Historic Park, we headed up the hill and into Jerome. Our first stop, the Liberty Theater. As many times as we've been to Jerome, we had never been to the Liberty Theater, and let me tell you, it was pretty cool. The downstairs is just a little gift shop, but the upstairs has the theater built in 1918. The theater used to have over 536 seats, but it's been somewhat reduced because of construction over the years. We headed upstairs with no idea what we would find, but we were pleasantly surprised when we got up there. There was a lot of things to see, including an old organ. The screen was playing the same movie that was playing over at the Jerome State Historic Park, just not quite as good a quality, but the theater itself was really kind of neat. If you continue up the stairs to the back of the theater, it turns into kind of an old theater museum. There is a bunch of old cameras back there, and then you wander back through another couple of doors and you're going to see some props and things.
I was gonna do this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hugging me.
It's kind of weirdly set up, but it was worth a walk through to see some of the stuff. especially the back room that had a lot of really cool old cameras and things. After the Liberty Theater, we headed out on the street to do some more exploring. If and when you come to Jerome, we highly suggest that you bring some good walking shoes because there's going to be a lot of uphill, downhill, a lot of stairs. So get your walking on. This little museum and kind of shopping mall is another spot that we had never set foot in, but it was kind of neat because it was an old garage that has been turned into a little shopping area. I like a lot of this old history, and as soon as I saw the car inside, I knew that I was in the right place. I didn't notice this at first. This is an elevator for the car. So they used to come down a ramp in the side of the building, and this was an elevator that went down to the floor below. Check that out. So it was used to lift vehicles between the first and second floor because the oil changes took place on the first floor. That is crazy. Powered by an electric motor. This little locker looking area had a lot of really good information on the building that we were in, but also a lot of the automotive history in the area as well. So right there is the door of this garage. So the ramp had to be here somewhere. So there was a wooden ramp here that went down and then turned inside of that door. How crazy is that? That is wild. And again, just stunning views everywhere here. If you make it up to Jerome during the week, it will tend to be a little bit quieter. The Spirit Room here on weekends can be absolutely packed. The music will be blaring and people are dancing and having a great time in here. But as you can see, on this day, it was a little bit quiet. After checking out the Spirit Room, we headed into the Mine Museum to see if we could get some more information about the mining in the area. And it was a really cool stop. And I think for $1 or $2 a piece, you go in the museum and check it out.
Lorena, you know I used to have one of those bicycles when I was a kid, right?
I can imagine, yeah.
You go first, Lorena.
Of course, send me first to the door.
The Jerome Mine Museum has been open since the early 1950s. It gives you a pretty good idea of the timeline of Jerome's past into its present, and you see old miners' equipment and this little display here that you're seeing that's like an old mine recreation. And then you'll see stuff like the gambling saloons might have looked like back in the day, and there's displays on the Chinese in Jerome. It was really a melting pot of ethnicities. It had Italians and Slavs and Mexicans and Irish and Russians and more. And the museum itself evolved from pure mining to demonstrating the people who made Jerome what it is. After wandering around Jerome in the morning and checking out some of the museums, it was time to head up the stairs to another street and have some lunch, and we opted for the Haunted Hamburger.
Hello. She'll be out in a few minutes. Enjoy, guys.
Thank you. Holy smokes. How about this view,
We
Lori?
wanted a view.
We had asked the girls at the museum where we should eat and have a view, and they recommended the Haunted Hamburger, and boy, they were not wrong. Our waitress had suggested that we check out some of the eclectic decor inside, so I decided to walk around and shoot a little bit. Like this bookcase that is installed in the ceiling. That is pretty unique. And she also suggested I check out the cakes, which I wish we had time for dessert because they looked absolutely amazing. I will say that Haunted Hamburger kind of has a Halloween theme year round, hence the whole Haunted Hamburger thing. After having lunch at the Haunted Hamburger, we decided to stay with the haunted theme. We went up the hill and turned onto this narrow one-lane driveway, and the Jerome Grand Hotel comes into sight, and it is supposed to be another haunted spot here in Jerome. That is pretty cool there. What do we got over here, Lori? 1923 Pace Arrow. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness. That thing is incredible. After checking out the vehicles out in the garages, we head into the lobby of the Jerome Grand Hotel to take a look around.
Ooh, very cool. 1926 Otis.
Okay, now this hotel, the Jerome Grand Hotel,
You know there's gonna be an echo in your audio.
there's going to be an echo in the audio, but it's supposed to be haunted. So let's see what we find.
Well, I guess it's not supposed to. I guess it's a for sure.
It is a for sure thing. So if any weird orbs and stuff show up in the video, let us know.
Put it in the comments. I remember before there was like on different levels.
1928 Mills Highboy jukebox model 801. 500 of them made.
As you wander the halls, they have some interesting displays at the Jerome Grand Hotel, like these records that were recordings from Thomas Edison to Henry Ford, and this original time clock that employees used to clock in. The restaurant here at the Jerome Grand Hotel is aptly named the Asylum. It also has some interesting decor and amazing views of the Verde Valley, but since we had already ate, we took a quick look around before heading back into Jerome to explore some more.
How cool is that? I wish we could go in there and see that.
I'm not sure if Jerome has the smallest police precinct in the country, but it has to be close. And the deputy looked like he had been waiting a long time for something to do. A very long time. We didn't have much daylight left, so we headed up to the Gold King mine to have a look around. As we approached the mine, you drive past their vehicle boneyard, and they had some pretty cool looking old vehicles that I was looking forward to checking out. The Gold King mine is up on the hill just outside of Jerome, so we decided to come up, take a look around, and see what we can find here. It looks pretty cool.
I know, there's so much cool stuff everywhere.
One of the first things we saw as we headed out into the ghost town was this wreath made from guns from the 1930s to the 1960s. They call it the Ring of Fire. The ghost town is a recreation of what a little town like this may have looked like back in the 1800s, with a variety of buildings like this old shoe repair store and a laundry that was mostly run by the Chinese here. The equipment displayed runs from some of the original used machinery to more modern stuff. And there are incredible old cars and trucks sprinkled throughout the entire place. If you are really into old cars and trucks, you could easily spend a half a day wandering around this place, or maybe even more. Some of the old vehicles I could picture fixed up like these old fire trucks and things. I think they would be incredible if they were fully restored, but I also see keeping them the way they are as pretty cool as well. If you are into animals, there are some chickens running around as well, some turkeys, and there are even some goats, and those things are pretty cool. If you have younger children and you're worried about keeping them busy, they do have some gem mining for them to do as well. There is a map showing you where everything is, but we just wandered around, peeking into every building, looking at all the old equipment, and walking into any area that looked interesting, like this recreation of an old mine shaft.
This is from how it used to feel. It was nice and fresh in here.
Well, looks like that guy didn't make it. Neither one of them. Oh, two of them in here didn't make it. Well, mines are a dangerous place.
There are some buildings here in the ghost town that were brought here to help recreate an old town from the 1800s, like the old schoolhouse that was brought in from Perkinsville, Arizona. But the wood shop was actually used to build many of the structures that are native to the property. How cool is that? And did we mention old cars and trucks? There are a lot of old cars and trucks.
No, an old Dodge fixed up, like that fixed up would be just insanely cool.
Oh, any of this.
Auto car. I haven't heard that name for a long time. One thing I want to say about the Gold King mine is that it is an old ghost town, and it's got the original sawmill where all the buildings were built from, which was really cool. And you can see a representation of an old schoolhouse and various things. But what I really think is that if you are into old cars, trucks, things like that, you will really enjoy this place. It has so many unique makes and models all over the place, and my mind is going crazy thinking of what they would look like restored. It is absolutely incredible.
I found our next RV.
Did you?
No, right.
Here it is. A little sanding and paint.
After checking out everything we could at the Gold King mine, we headed back down the hill to check out one last unique attraction in Jerome. Right now I am up on Main Street. It is the main road that comes all the way down through Jerome and down through here. Jerome has been known as the city sliding down the hill. There is one example of a severe hill slide of a building, and that is right here. Where I am standing used to be, or approximately used to be, the jail. That jail is now down there. You can just see the top of the building there. It's an L-shaped building. It has slid 255 feet or 225 feet. I can't remember. I'll put the number up here in the video, but it has slid down the hill and into the middle of the street where you see this couple walking down here. That's Hall Avenue. And then they built Hall Avenue to just kind of go around the jail, but then eventually they just pushed the jail down to where it sits today, and it is now the Jerome world famous sliding jail. This jail was built somewhere around 1905, and it was in a basement of a building up on Main Street. And yes, it has slid 225 feet down the hill, and they actually had to push it a little bit further to get it out of the way.
You can see the bed in there. That's crazy.
Join us next time as Adventure Nation explores the stunning southwestern town of Sedona, Arizona. You don't want to miss this one.
Like this.
Do you feel the energy, Lorena?
Sure, I'm a new person.